This is Lauren Fogelman at ExpertSportsPerformance.com, working with highly driven, motivated athletes on having more focus, confidence, the ability to effectively deal with distractions when competing for consistent high performance. Today's topic is elite athletes trained to win. Nike has the slogan, just do it. We all know it. We've all heard it before. However, it's not the whole thing. There's a concept called deliberate practice, which talks about strategy, focus, quality. It's having that strategic focus which leads to mastery. That's why elite athletes, they always push their comfort zone to really take them to the next level of performance. It's that push of getting past what's known and comfortable, which leads to mastery. What I really want you to do is not just observe those elite athletes in your sports and how their technique is, but I want you to look at their work ethic, because their work ethic is really a cut above everybody else's. They're just not just going through the motions, they're really deliberate in their focus, their intention, and the outcomes that they're looking for. What I want you to then think about is the details in your practice habits. That's going to make the difference, is really the attention you give to detail. What I'd like to look at is the 3 steps to really get you focused on deliberate practice, how you can bring it into your training to really move it to the next level and get better results in a shorter period of time. The first one is technique. Now, it's not just about having the technique, but it's about having the intention about what it is about your technique that you want to focus on this particular time that you're training, and really focusing on one particular part of your technique, getting that to great, and then moving on. Because it's about getting your technique from good to great, sets the intention, and it incrementally moves you up to the next level. How are you going to do that? When you become aware of practicing and you hit a mistake, you're going to stop. Stop and think about what happened and the correction you make to really move it forward in the direction you want it to go through. Don't just push through the mistakes, ignore them. You really want to stop, notice them, recognize them, and think about a better way forward. It's that better way forward that's going to really help to take your training to a whole new level, bringing you those faster results. After that, you want to get feedback, whether it's from your coach, from someone that you trust, another athlete that you really partner up with. It's that strategic feedback that's important, because there's some things you just can't see when you're training. You might think you have a perfect technique, but there's something that might be just a little bit off. Having that strategic feedback is critical to really moving forward and getting your practice and your training to a whole new level. And what's the ninja trick for this one? Practice for the new. What you want to do is really think about how you want to do it differently, what you want to work towards, and train for that. That means being very focused, present, and conscious about your movements, about the technique. And once again, when you recognize that you're going back towards the old and you're making that mistake, you want to stop. You want to envision the correction of how you want it to be, and then practice for where you're going as opposed to what you're trying to get away from. An example would be if you are changing a running technique. You want to really be able to feel what it's like to do it new, envision it, really encompassing all the different emotions and senses in it, and then train for that. When you recognize that you're running in your old form, then stop. Once again, vision it, and then move forward again. So it's okay to have stops to be able to make those corrections and then move them forward. It's going to help move the dial in such a faster way. And the third part is weakness. We want to have you strengthen the weaknesses, because you're only good as your weakest area. So let's focus on those weaknesses and really strengthening them to take them to a whole new level. And the ninja trick for that is variety. You don't want to just train in the same old method over and over and over again. You want to be able to add newness, change the pattern, bring that variety in. It keeps it interesting. Your brain loves variety. It loves new as well. It's going to just fire up your brain, bringing in the variety, having some fun with it, changing it up a little bit, but really focusing on strengthening the weaknesses. If you're a hill climber and that's the area that needs to be strengthened, what you want to do is vary the grade, the tempo, the distance in your training to keep on focusing on what you want to improve with your strategy, but also, once again, changing it up a little bit so it's not the same old, same old. Therefore, use strategic practice for one change at a time. Once you've got something, then you move on to the next. It's also about having passion and persistence. Really bring the emotion of why you want to do this and the persistence of continuing to work on one thing at a time until you get that nailed down. Then you move on to the next thing. The other part, what I really want to say is get feedback from your coach, from other athletes that you trust. Feedback is golden. Even if they don't give it to you in the best way, just take in the feedback, become aware of what you want to focus on, and then use it. The next part, which is probably the hardest part of all, is be willing to make a big mistake. Big mistakes are actually the sweet spot for learning. It's what's going to help to increase your awareness, get something from the subconscious up to the conscious. Once it's there, that's when you can move forward and really move the needle towards your goals of where you want to be. I'm curious about what some of your ninja tricks are that you use for practice that really help to take it to the next level, make it quality practice as opposed to just showing up, going through the motions, and putting in time. If you're putting in time but it's not conscious, it's not going to move the dial in the way that you would like to. So a challenge for you is think about one thing you would like to focus on before you train. Even if your coach has a routine for you, what it is that you want to bring to it so you can still control it. If you're not sure, then ask yourself the question, what is it that I want to do? Do I know what I want? Ask yourself, do I know what I want? That's going to help to have you figured out so it's really intentional practice. And the next thing is make it creative, make it fun, and try out new things. Bring in that new part so you can light up your brain and help make it intentional, moving the dial, keeping you focused and in the present. I'm interested in hearing your comments. What's something that you took away from this training video that works for you as far as the ninja tricks? If you're interested in my special report, the top 7 mistakes even the best athletes make, go to my website, expertsportsperformance.com. Put your name and email address in the upper right-hand corner. You'll immediately get that free special report so that you can take your training to a whole new level. I look forward to hearing your comments and what works for you. Lauren Fogelman, expertsportsperformance.com. More focus, more wins.